A licensee may be working in an area distant from their home market. In this case, the licensee may be a member of their home MLS, but not a member of the MLS covering the area in which they find themselves working. Access to the MLS data has become extremely important to residential agents. Licensees wishing to focus on the residential part of the real estate industry may find it difficult to successfully and adequately represent their clients without access to the MLS. In addition to providing information on available properties or making a listing available to other agents, a MLS contains valuable information regarding sales prices of other properties. This information is often necessary when doing research for a client regarding the pricing of a particular property. MLS organizations have become so powerful in the residential market that their influence and authority has been challenged in court several times. Many argue an MLS creates unfair competition because only MLS members have access to the information or are allowed to advertise their listings across the MLS. As technology changes and the Internet changes the way licensees participate in the real estate industry, watch for changes in the way MLS organizations operate. Buyer's broker or transactional broker. Some participants in some markets are changing the traditional agency model even further. A buyer's broker represents only buyers. Often, buyer's brokers operate in markets where sellers do not pay their brokers enough for the broker to offer compensation to the buyer's broker. In our previous example, the sellers paid their listing broker 7%, and then the listing broker offered to share that commission with the broker who brought the buyer. In markets where the buyer's brokers are common, the seller may only pay the listing broker 3%, reducing the incentive for the listing broker to share commission. The buyer's broker must then negotiate with the buyer directly for commission. The agency agreement between the buyer and the buyer's broker will specify how much commission will be paid by the buyer to the broker and when the commission will be paid. The terms surrounding the commission are completely up to negotiation. The agreement may give the broker something similar to their traditional split of commission if it was being paid by the seller. The agreement may give the broker a flat fee, which does not depend on the purchase price of the home. The importance of MLS organization and what some argue to be the high commission rates charged by real estate agents have spawned a new type of broker, the transactional broker. A transactional broker charges a flat fee to perform certain parts of a real estate transaction. For example, the broker may charge a flat fee to list the property on the local MLS. The broker will do nothing else for the seller. The seller will be responsible for showing the home as well as negotiating any contracts. This type of arrangement has become popular in some markets. Sellers welcome the opportunity to do the work themselves while gaining exposure on the MLS. Sometimes the sellers will offer to pay the buyer's broker a commission, sometimes they will not. Typically, transactional brokers either will not establish an agency relationship with the seller, or they severely limit the scope of their relationship. The fee associated with simply listing the property on the MLS is usually not high enough to compensate the broker for occurring liability which may arise from an agency relationship. Many state regulators have found the lack of representation usually associated with strictly transactional brokers problematic. Remember, we have mentioned several times that agency in real estate is often defined by state law. This is the case with transactional brokers. Many states, including Utah, have taken steps to prohibit strictly transactional brokers. Utah law requires a broker involved in a transaction to act as an agent for the principal, thereby incurring the liability associated with the principal-agent relationship. In other words, Utah law does not allow a broker to simply list a property on the MLS and have no further obligation to the seller. The broker must act as the seller's agent. Since brokers in Utah are not able to escape the agency relationship, many are not willing to offer their services for as low of a price as they would if they could escape the agency liability. Some argue this requirement by various state regulators is truly meant at protecting the traditional commission model and is anti-competitive. Others argue that brokers and agents have an obligation which cannot be escaped to represent the best interests of their clients. This debate will most likely continue for some time.